Hey everyone, thanks for joining me today. Today we'll be discussing how brands can approach their e-commerce marketing strategy during the holidays. I'm Liz Spektor and I manage all things paid media here at Dynamic Yield. And today I have the pleasure of speaking with Ben. Ben, do you want to give the audience a quick intro of yourself?
Sure. Hi, everybody. My name is Ben Malki, and I'm the Director of Customer Success for Dynamic Yield in the Americas. Making sure our clients are personalizing and things are going well.
Yeah. Thank you, Ben. Thanks so much for joining us today. So just jumping right in, what can brands really do before the holiday season starts to make sure that they're optimally prepared?
It's a fantastic question. The first thing, it sounds sort of overly intuitive, which is to plan for it and plan for it early. So at this point, given that the holiday season is really going to be starting and actually in October, you want to have your holiday plans drawn up no later than the next few weeks. They should be finalized. Hopefully, you've already been thinking about them. It's time to draw those up, scope them out, get the designs, get the development work started sometime in September. You want to make sure that you're QAing everything and that it's ready to go live by October 1st, and then planning your launch strategy from there.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, actually, our data from last year showed that starting from October 1st to November of 2020, so that promotional period prior to Thanksgiving, Dynamic Yield actually saw a 24% increase in purchases. So that's very interesting how you mentioned that, the holidays are really spanning beyond just Black Friday and preparing for that December shopping.
Yeah, it's an antiquated concept. Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Customers weren't waiting for those, and last year we really saw a continuation of something that had really was sort of a niche play by brands the year before that, which was to start the discounting and the promotions earlier. A lot of brands jumped on that bandwagon last year, and I think we're going to start to see that happen again in more volume. The fact of the matter is that holiday promotions for brands is as much about share of wallet as it is anything else. And so to get that share of wallet, it's best not to be last to get your promotions online.
Yeah, most definitely. And it's interesting that the preparations are becoming so early that what are your suggestions for brands, during this promotional time frame? Like what are the best things that they can be doing to make sure to maintain those experiences?
Number one is understanding the value that your products present and what it's and why customers are coming to you. And within that, of course, because we're a personalization company and I'm the chief personalization heckler, I'm always going to say is knowing who your audiences are and knowing what they're looking for, and how you need to speak with them. And so that should be an integral part of your planning process now is understanding what the value you bring is. Because if we think about it, promotions during holiday, Black Friday and Cyber Monday is a commoditized concept. And so understanding what value you bring on top of that of just discounting your products is really key to success.
Yeah, and I think it would be really interesting actually to dive into understanding how important are audiences to this. And I know a lot of brands they're scrambling in that last minute thinking about what audiences to target. Is it about new user acquisition? Is it about nurturing old users? So can you speak a little bit about how just growing the audience base year round is super important to the strategy?
Yeah, the first thing I would say is it's never an or proposition, it's an and proposition, and that's really crucial when we're talking about personalization. Just because you are personalizing to one segment doesn't mean that you should be neglecting another, or that you are, in fact. The thing that I like to rely on as a precursor to personalization is this fact that I like to call the fact of personalization is that for every single website, for every single brand, there's different groups with different needs, wants, and behavior on your site today, tomorrow, and always. And so we should be thinking about who they are. You should have a strategy that's aligned across your marketing efforts, both digital and potentially even offline. And then understanding what makes them tick. What are they looking for? How do you need to speak with them more than anything else? And ensuring that if your product delivers on your brand promise, it's up to you as marketers to understand how to effectively message that to each audience specifically.
Yeah, and I know that you have been, a major proponent of audience building and particularly around root audiences. Can you let our audience know a little bit about that methodology also?
Yeah, root audiences is a homegrown personalization philosophy that we created here at Dynamic Yield. Essentially, at its core, it is a macro segmentation philosophy. And so, what we're counseling our clients to do is to focus on 3 to 4 audiences that are based on one segmentation principle. So, one concept that really binds together the audiencing strategy, and then to use those audiences from conception to execution to analysis, rinse, wash, repeat, over and over and over again, and really focus on them so that you can start so you can learn their behavior, learn what works and what doesn't work, and then just get smarter, more targeted, and more effective in what you're trying to do online.
Yeah, and that seems like it'll take a lot, a big load off of marketers in general with preparing for the holiday season, is having, a good framework set up to facilitate that.
It's truly important again because promotions during holiday is commoditized concept. Like I said before, everybody's doing promotions. You're not doing anything special because you're doing 20% off. All of your competitors are doing 20% off as well, and so it becomes less about let's just throw a percentage off. Figure in front of the price and hope that does the trick, to how do I get smarter and really speak to customers where they are in their buying process today. And the better you understand that, and the better you understand what type of copy to use, what emotional messaging that resonates best, whether they need more product information or less product information, for what each particular audience, the more successful you're going to be in the long run.
Yeah, yeah. And I guess as the holiday season wraps up and marketers just collect so much data on all these different behaviors, what are your best recommendations for post holidays? Like what do we do with all of this data?
Yeah, it's a really great question. I would say we first of all we should not be treating holiday data particularly separately than we would normally, right? You should have a programmatic concept of your audiences today, tomorrow, and forever. And so the holiday data should really feed to our understanding of audience behavior, and frankly, the one thing that I would say is right after holiday, take a look at how your audiences behaved and whether or not you saw a material difference in their buying or in their purchasing behavior or their buying behavior, or not. And you know what we forget sometimes as marketers is that the data that we have available is not just sort of anonymous clicks. These are behavioral signals that your audiences are tell you what works and what doesn't work, what they like and what they don't like. So take that, ask the question why. Ask the question, why did they behave that way? What does that tell us about them, and how do we leverage that going forward? And definitely try to understand whether or not they actually show differentiated behavior during the holiday season, or if it was sort of more of the same with maybe a little bit more onus to purchase.
Yeah, yeah, no, and that's awesome information. I think when there's such an overflow of all different types of segmenting, promotional strategies, all of these different things kind of floating around, and so much pressure during the holiday season, you just hit the nail on the head there.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for joining me, Ben. This was absolutely invaluable, and I hope that brands, feel the same way as well. And yeah, till next time. Thank you.
absolutely, my pleasure.
Bye.